I just started. So we're gonna go A. So the question says, convert the following linear equations from the y-intercept form to the standard form. Let's recap the two forms that we talk about with linear function. So the first form, which is the standard form, x plus by plus c equal to 0. For the purpose of this course, all what I want from you guys is to be able to convert everything and to bring everything over to one side, leave the equal 0 to the other side. There is more to it, right? Technically, what I'm teaching you right now, that's not, if I'm teaching my higher level class, they will have to do more steps. But for the purpose of this course, for now only, we're going to just say, let's move everything to one side, even if there's fractions. I'm okay with that, okay, as long as we can do that part of it. And the other part would be having y equal mx plus b. So basically leaving y by itself here, and then moving everything else to the other side. So these are the two formats that we're going to be going between. Okay? I want you to be able to convert from here to here. Right? This is very important step. I need you to know this one for sure. So it's like question 2. Okay? So question 2 is more important to me than question 1. But at the same time, you have to be able to go in between the two. Okay? So let's look at 1a. So 1a, you have y equal 2x plus 1. This one looks like which one? The first one or the second one? What does it look like? It looks like the second one, right? So they want you to convert it to the standard format, so they want you to convert it to look like the first one, okay? So they want everything to be on one side with equal 0 on the other side, okay? So let's do that. So if I want to move the 2x and the 1 over, right, I can do that, right? Or I can move the y over. So remember that when I have an equal sign, that's a balance, right? If you move things from this side of the balance to this side, or from this side to this side, it's the same idea, right? So we are used to moving things to this side, yeah? Okay, so let's do that. What happens when I move the 2x over? What happens when I cross the equal sign? It becomes negative, right? Because that's a plus 2x here. Yes, it's invisible, right? That plus is invisible, but still, it's y. When I move it over, that's going to be minus. Equals to 1, right? What else do I have to move to the other side? That 1. And when I move it to the other side, what does it become? Negative 1, right? I could have moved them both at the same time, right? I could have put them both over at the same time. Now, does this look like this to you? Yeah, it's just different order, but it still looks the same, right? Okay, so that is basically moving from, we call this slope y-intercept form to what we call the standard form. Okay, let's do 1c. Remember that I want to move all of these terms on the right-hand side to the left-hand side. Okay? So what's the first thing that you want to move here? So move the 5x over. Okay? So if I want to move the 5x over, what does it become? So y minus 5x equals to a half. Are we okay with this? Okay? Now, because I have a half in this case, I want to do something a little bit different than when I have a whole number. Okay? So a half means it's 1 divided by 2. Okay? If I want to get rid of that division by 2, what should I'm going to move it? It's going to be a half, and it's going to look weird, and it's not going to look nice. I need to make it look nice. So if I want to get rid of a division by 2, what do I do? Multiply by 2. Remember that if I multiply by 2, I have to multiply that whole thing by 2, right? So that whole y minus 5x, I have to multiply it by the 2, yeah? Equals to, if I multiply this by 2, this is going to cancel. Okay? So that's why it becomes just 1 by itself. Do we understand this step? This is the time, if you don't understand it, to put your hand up and say, I don't understand. Okay, so we're okay that the opposite of division is multiplication? Are we okay with that? We learned that the opposite of addition is subtraction, the opposite of multiplication is division, and vice versa. We learned that. So because this is a division here, to get rid of it, I have to multiply by 2, yes? Because the opposite of division is multiplication. Okay? But we learned also that because of the balance, if I multiply on one side, I have to multiply on the other side, otherwise I'm going to tilt my balance. So if I'm going to multiply by 2 on this side, then I must multiply this side also by 2. This is the rule. This is the balance rule. Okay? So, now we learned that if I'm multiplying this whole thing by 2, how can I simplify that? So I can remove the bracket. I don't want to divide because if I divide, I go back to the previous step, which that's not what I want. How can I get rid of this bracket? What did we learn about the combos? Remember the combo? Yeah. So remember the combo or the distributive property where we had to multiply that 2 by each term inside the bracket? Yeah. If you went to Taco Bell and you had 2 tacos and a Coke, right? But you want to order 3 of them, right? I'm gonna have to take